Peace, everyone. Welcome. My name is Nikisha with FavorFlowRestorative, where harmony is unleashed, mind, body, and soul. Let's start with a little sound. This is opening up the sacral chakra. Before we get into it, we're going to be talking about emotions today. So, as we continue our discussion about moving through emotions, there are several videos about moving through emotions using essential oils, but what if it's in the moment? What if you don't have anything? What is it that you should do? What if you're at work and somebody makes you angry, or you're out in public and somebody kind of triggers you, or something that you see or experience has a profound impact on the way that you feel? I will that you find a restroom and allow yourself in the moment to take 3 breaths. And in those 3 breaths, allow yourself to make a decision that you will later be proud of. So we're going to break these down into steps. So the first step would be spotting the emotion. So we all know what our body feels like whenever we're feeling specific emotions. And if we don't, now is the time to tune into your body. When you feel sad, where do you feel it? When you feel anger or rage, where do you feel it? When you feel anxiety, what part of the body is that coming from? When you feel depression or grief, where do you feel it? So spotting the emotion, being able to identify not only what the emotion is, but where it actually comes from. So that's the first step. The second step is to accept that the emotion is there. I think our society really does a wonderful job of teaching us that, 1, our emotions are not valid, 2, that there are certain emotions that we're not supposed to feel, and 3, that we're not supposed to accept how we feel. How you feel is your truth. Your emotions are your truth. Your body is your first defense of keeping you safe, of keeping you grounded. That is the function of the body. So that is why it is so important, so necessary, so critical to recognize and spot where in the body the emotion lies, and to also accept it. Because whenever we accept ourselves, that's a part of our self-love. How many of us see people explaining self-love as being able to accept who you are and accept your emotions, even when they feel socially unacceptable? Accept them. The next part of that is admitting that it exists. A lot of times we tend to judge ourselves for feeling the way that we do. So that's why the third step is to admit that it exists. This is how I feel. I'm feeling angry. This is making me feel anxious. I feel very uncomfortable. This enrages me. This makes me feel really angry. The way that I was treated made me feel sad. Accepting and admitting that it exists. The next step is, what is it bringing up for you? Because we don't get triggered from nowhere. That trigger takes us back to a previous memory. And so the reason why I told you to go to the restroom is because sometimes that can be the quietest place, the most sacred place that you can get to the quickest in order to be able to have some downtime to go into your inner world. Sometimes it's my car. Sometimes it's simply finding a park somewhere and sitting in the grass by a tree. Whatever that is for you, identify that for you. And then allow yourself a couple of minutes, even if you have to journal, but recognizing, what is it bringing up for you? Is it bringing up a time where you felt ousted, where you felt disrespected, when you felt dishonored? What does it bring up for you? And the next step to that is why. Why is it bringing that up for you? Because again, if our body is here to keep us safe, then it's sending us signals all day, every day, that allow us to see the things that make us feel unsafe, the things that threaten the body, the things that send off hormones throughout the body to keep us harmonized and balanced. And the last step would be, can I let it go? And put no pressure on yourself to have to let it go in that moment. Many times it's about moving through the emotion. And sometimes when we move through the emotion, it may take more than a day, more than an hour, more than a minute. It may take more than a week. It may take months. But the key is to ensure that we are being patient with ourselves and merely recognizing that the self-awareness gives us the power to now self-manage in a different way, to make decisions for ourselves that we will be proud of later, instead of reacting in the moment, making a sad choice and having to pay the consequences. Because whatever action we take, there's consequences. Even the inaction of an action, there's still consequences for. Many times, those things that elicit emotions that don't feel as good may be a mirror for something within that needs to be healed. This is why I asked you to look in the body and find out wherever that emotion resides, because that specific emotion is tied to an energy chakra center. And being able to identify where in the body you feel that now gives you the power to heal that specific energetic center that is within you. This is the shadowy side of mirroring that many don't talk about. The other part could be our connections. We are connected to many. I can only speak for myself, but I love so many people. I love to love. But in those connections also come attachments. And sometimes what I've experienced personally is that when someone I'm connected to refuses to clear their energy center, because I'm in connection with them, I experience it. And many times I found that I'm navigating emotions and energy that simply aren't mine. But it is my job, because now, since it's been connected to my body, to still clear those energy centers that it resides in. So the next part of this is to look and see if you got to the step of what does it bring up, and you find that this is not your energy. That is a real thing. Trust that it's not your energy, but it is still your responsibility to clear that energy center out and to heal that part of yourself It's about self-preservation. And look around at the connections and the attachments that you have to others and find out there what needs to be cleared out. Many of us are carrying burdens for others that we simply do not deserve. We can definitely have soul contracts with other people, but some of that stuff is not even meant for us, but out of love we carry it. That's a choice, and that choice comes with consequences. So what do you do with it? The other factor that I'll conclude with is past domestication. Sometimes whenever we ask our question, what does it bring up, why, and can I let it go? It boils down to programming. Some things we are just programmed in. Sometimes we think that friends and families and communities, it is our duty to be self-sacrificial in order to carry their baggage. And that simply isn't true. Even our children, they have their own soul purpose. They have their own journey. And it is not your job to carry around anyone's energetic or physical baggage. And some of us carry or feel like we're supposed to take on energy, feelings, and circumstances that simply don't belong to us. This lifetime is not about martyrdom, and it's not about sacrificing yourself for the good of others. It is about being able to heal and activate based on a trigger. Heal and activate our energy centers based on self-awareness and now a different way of self-management. Being able to recognize what resides in us that connects us and attaches us to those around us. And if we don't like the experience, being able to recognize we have the power to choose another experience. Recognize we have the power to disconnect, to detach, and to cleanse, and to heal. So I will that this message created space and gave you what you needed in this time. Until next time, may you continue to flow in favor. And so it is. Peace.